Good morning, Seth Moulton, candidato al Senado de los Estados Unidos. Okay.
Sorry I couldn't be in person today.
No. Hey, I think you're a little busy. I think you're just a little busy right now doing some great stuff.
I was in Pittsfield yesterday, so I'm literally crisscrossing the state. I was about as far west as you can get. I'm now back in Salem, where I live, and it's awesome to be on your show and to talk to people in Massachusetts about this Senate race that's going to hit. The primary is on September 1st.
Yes, la primaria el 1 de septiembre. Seth Moulton, right there, candidato al Senado de los Estados Unidos. We only have 2 senators per state, so it's 100 senators. So very important race. You were here, I think it was a couple months ago. So I'm going to start with a question that I've been dying to ask you, okay? This is your second time here at La Hora del Café. Desde la primera vez, since your first time here at La Hora del Café, you've been going around knocking on 16,000 doors. What have you heard from Latino families across Massachusetts, and how have you incorporated that in your campaign? ¿Qué tú has aprendido después de tocar casi 60,000 puertas de familias latinas y cómo tú lo has incorporado en tu campaña, Seth?
Things are too expensive. Everything costs too much, especially housing in Massachusetts. And that's why I have such an aggressive program to bring down the cost of housing all over the Commonwealth, starting with a regional rail program to make it faster than driving to get around, so you can get a job wherever you want and still live where you can afford. But the second thing that I'm hearing from Latino families all over Massachusetts is that they're just scared. You know, people are scared. And it's not just Latinos, but the pressure from the Trump administration and ICE, deportations, literally shooting people in the streets. People are frightened, and justifiably so. And you know what? When you're frightened, you don't need just opposition. Everyone knows Democrats are opposed to Trump. We also need leadership. How are we going to fix these problems? That's why it's time for a new generation of leadership in Washington, and why I'm running for a new generation of leadership in the Senate against someone who's been elected longer than I've been alive.
¿Cuál es la diferencia más grande entre tú y Ed que se vio en ese debate? What would you say is the clearest difference that we could get from the debate, but that you'd like to point out to our audience between you and Ed Markey?
Ed Markey's focused on the past and trying to distort my record because he just hasn't accomplished that much in 50 years. Whereas I'm focused on the future. I'm focused on what we need to change because we've got to do a lot better here in Massachusetts. I have the most progressive affordability agenda of anyone in Congress today because it says that housing, healthcare, and education should be human rights, not debatable, just human rights. And that means we need to bring down the cost of all housing, healthcare, and make education, especially vocational education, much more widely available.
As Latino voters decide, or will decide, los votantes latinos van a tener que decir, they're going to have to decide, vote for Seth Moulton or vote for Ed Markey. What do you want them to know about your commitment to their families? ¿Qué es lo que tú quieres que la familia latina y el votante que tiene que decidir entre Ed Markey y Seth Moulton sepa de ti?
Well, a big difference between Seth and Ed is I have kids, and I have little kids. They're 5 and 7 years old, and that's why I'm doing this work. That's why I'm invested in the future, because I'm not just thinking about the world I'm going to live in, you're going to live in, but the world our kids are going to live in for the next 75, 100 years.
Anyways, Seth Moulton, candidate for U.S. Senator. Thank you so much, Seth, for taking the time. I know you'll be back. And
I love you guys. I'll come back anytime. Great.
All right, my friend. All right. Thank you.